China is in panic mode. That's happening right now, right here, today, as the whole world is going into a tightening cycle. China is trying their very best to stimulate. They're doing everything they can. I'm going to show you several examples today. In fact, there is a problem though. If China gets a cold, the world gets sick. No pun intended. What we're seeing right now is that quite frankly, there is a problem economically when we're so reliant on one single country. It starts to impact the whole world. As China slows down, the whole world feels it. That's important. There's an important distinction here in between what people think like GDP numbers, one country, that country. We got to understand, with globalization, we've connected every country. One person's problem becomes the other's. I'm going to show you why today. I'm going to show you the stats, the data. You got to know all of it. Let's go right here. First things first. 1 in 5 young people in China can't find a job. That's a big problem for their leader. This is like unbelievable. 1 in 5 16 to 24-year-olds, where previously that wasn't really an issue, okay? So now you've got a problem with the economy that just can't be resolved by a simple matter of printing money. It just doesn't work that way. All right. So the pitch to investors hinging on revitalizing state-owned firms. Major state companies account for almost half of the market value. Reforms that boost transparency and efficiency are vital. Are they going to, though? Are they actually going to boost transparency? Not to the public, that's for sure. Beijing is on a mission to revamp its state-owned enterprises. Officials have kicked off a drive in recent months to boost the valuations of the state-owned enterprises, a massive cohort that has contributed little to the gains in the nation's stock indexes over the years. These firms are in every corner of the economy, ranging from banking to ports and the steel industry, and the major entities account for almost half of the overall market cap. Very important stuff, looking at how influential the government is inside of the major corporations in China. You know that there's an issue going on right now. If you have a big establishment, like if you're Alibaba, you have government workers working inside and they want to know all the details. They're, of course, managing it to some degree. If you're a small business, that doesn't exist. It's just a small business. It operates on its own. You pay your taxes and so on. But once it gets to a certain level, then you become sort of quasi-government. They also have the ability to, in many cases, actually be buying stocks indirectly. The government, the central bank, can actually actively go in and buy the stocks indirectly using these companies that are that, quasi government, not officially, but it's kind of official. Anyway, that's what they do. They can stimulate in this way. They're doing that. They are doing so today, but not to the degree that they were doing before. So all the analysts, all of the economists, everybody inside everywhere has been saying, please, China, stimulate. And some don't understand it. But as I said in the introduction, if China's stimulating, that helps the world. Of course, it devalues the currency. We know this, all that. But at the same time, the world doesn't care. People don't care. They want to see more inflation. That's what it comes down to. And it is an absolute fact. China's top leaders likely to disappoint on Big Bang stimulus. This is the meeting that's coming up, and essentially they want more fiscal and monetary aid, essentially printing money, and they want the government to do lots of stuff. Investors are expecting more aggressive action, may be disappointed. Well, we'll see what happens, but as this meeting comes up, I'm going to bring you all the details. There are actually quite a few charts in here showing you that, it wasn't really what they thought it was going to be coming out of the lockdowns. Oh, everything's going to be so okay, but it didn't work out that way. It really didn't. There was a big change. And also leading up into it, you had problems too, everything with Hong Kong and so on, where there are a lot of issues, not just, our factories making a lot of stuff. No, there's other factors at play. China's slow in momentum. You could see the yellow line is the GDP growth quarter on quarter, which is looking really weak. And basically since that time frame, I mean, it's just not where it was. They were telling us, oh, this is going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to grow more than ever before. But that isn't the case. It really isn't. So you could take it for what you want, but they want more fiscal stimulus. They really do. You can see China's local governments may accelerate bond sale. They think that's going to fix it, but hey, they're trying everything. Monetary policy, they're easing monetary policy, reducing interest rates and reserve requirement ratio. So like how much money the banks have to actually keep. What do you think that does? That weakens the system. You get it? Cooling consumer spending. Consumers aren't going out and spending as much as they did. Why? Well, there's different reasons for that, of course, but part of it is they do not have the insatiable appetite for their Louis Vuitton bags and everything. And you see that actually showing up in the statistics for those companies like LVMH and others. So watch out. When you're looking to be an investor somewhere, you could say, oh, LVMH, one of the biggest companies in the world. Well, I know what's happening. If you see a slowdown, well, that could be the impact of what's going on in China specifically. We've got more. Look at it. China's digital yuan nears $250 billion transaction volume. That's according to the central bank governor. Pretty amazing. That's not like on a daily basis. That's the total. And it's only been a few years now, I believe. And still, the transaction volume is quite large. So you have just a few million that are in circulation at any moment. But here we are seeing it right now today. More and more people are going to be comfortable with it. They're already using their phone for everything. They're already using payment apps that are just normal. It's normal everyday activity. So using this is really no different. That's why we will see this in other countries too. Some places won't be as accepting, but it's coming. CBDCs are coming for you. All of the countries will accept it, particularly the younger generations who, since basically forever, they've been tapping their phones. The big pharma bets big on China. Western drug makers have aligned themselves with Beijing's health priorities and are tapping local startups for innovative medicines. Essentially, all the big boys, big pharma, doing business in China. Okay, so there's growth opportunities. Don't just look at this as one-sided, but you've got to pick and choose wisely as an investor. But also, I want you to keep an eye on what's happening economically because it does impact you all around the world. I know people that they don't believe in the sort of moral aspects of the whole circumstances with big pharma. So, if they're expanding into China, that could be beneficial to you. I don't really like the whole idea, but anyway. China seeks private investors for $445 billion of projects. I mean, they're going wild. Absolutely wild. I mean, it's very clear that they're trying to do this in all other countries too. They're doing lots of infrastructure around the world. And to me, it has been very clear. However, not too confident. Businesses are saying, we don't really want to be sanctioned if you start to attack Taiwan. We don't want to, do business in this way. Like they're scared. A lot of businesses are scared right now. And so less money is going to be flowing into China, and that just slows it down further. They have to reassure investors. But at the same time, are they really doing that? Are they really reassuring the rest of the world that they're going to open up, that they're going to be free? Not really. It seems more like they're tightening down and simply, dealing with it. I don't know what's going on internally, but this is not too good. China hits back against Western sanctions. As China's trade war in America was heating up in 2019, the People's Daily predicted that China's monopoly on rare earths, minerals crucial to the production of most modern hardware, could become a tool to counter American pressure. Don't say we didn't warn you. That's right. They are now hitting back. They're trying to restrict their metals. You can see that I've covered it in previous videos. I just think that it's something to keep an eye on. As individuals, we need to be aware of all this stuff and realize that if they are going to restrict, and if the United States just can go back and forth, and they're going to say, no, you can't have the newest chips. And China says, okay, well, you can't have this metal or that metal. And just 1, 2, 3 back and forth. It's going to be harmful overall because these things escalate. Just like investors are wary of putting their money into China, take a look. Chinese money flees the Western world. Investors who once bought New York City hotels are placing funds elsewhere. They can see this back and forth. They don't like it. They don't want to touch it. This is generally not a positive development. I can tell you that for sure. I just want to bring you the honest truth about what's happening here. And if you want the full details, if you want all of what I'm going to be bringing out and have been bringing out, you got to get on the Discord, because that's the place where I don't have to worry about what I say. I don't have to tiptoe around it. I don't have to keep stuttering. All of that, it's on Discord, and I'm going to continue to expand it. Okay, it's really cool. All of the latest YouTube videos go in there. You get notified of that. They can't start shortchanging me on the notifications. I don't annoy you. It's just the one YouTube video that I post every day. You got to get on there. It's totally free. Check it out. Discord. It's have become really cool. Over 700 people, and we are headed towards 1,000. When we get to 1,000, the giveaways will begin. It's going to be really cool. Check it out down below. Hit that Discord. I'll see you there.